Now, today Saskatchewan's Urban Municipalities Association shared its displeasure with the provincial budget and how it has been consulted by the government. SUMA says cutting programs and then asking towns to pay for the difference is unfair. CBC's Adam Hunter has been following that angle for us today. He joins me now live in the studio. Adam, what are the leaders of cities, towns and villages saying today?
Well, Joel, we'll start with that they held a news conference today to express their concerns. SUMA leaders are still upset about the lack of discussion about changes to grants in lieu before the budget. Now, they say the government calling the Premier's remarks at SUMA's convention a consultation is an affront to all SUMA members. And they say the Premier is saying that everything is on the table at that convention. That does not mean it was a consultation. Yorkton Mayor Bob Maloney was there today. He's on the SUMA executive. Maloney says cities, towns, and even villages will be forced to increase property taxes to deal with the shortfall. He says in addition to losing grants in lieu, cuts to STC, libraries, and the community rink grant are all having a major impact on budgets. And he says when they press the government for answers, they get very little.
All I've heard is that if oil prices go up, this goes away. But for my municipality, we can't count on that. We can't budget for that. We're already really late. We usually have our budget done probably, well, it would have been done before last October. We waited for our election, and then we waited to see what was coming in the budget. So we're kind of behind the 8 ball. But as you look into next year, I'm not terribly optimistic. The price of potash isn't going anywhere. Price of oil isn't going anywhere. So there's real concern that we'll be right back at the table again next year.
Adam, what has the government said in response?
Well, today in question period, Premier Wall was asked about those concerns of SUMA. He said over the past few years, municipalities have benefited the most due to money from revenue sharing more than any other sector. Here's his solution for making up that current shortfall.
We know, and I've got a list here, we know the municipal sector has been able to put away, in this case, millions of dollars in reserves, in part because of the revenue sharing from the province, Mr. Speaker. Some of them say, well, that's our rainy day fund. Well, Mr. Speaker, now's the time to use it.
Now, we've asked town leaders and city leaders about using those reserves. We've been told those are for major capital projects like sewer and water treatment facilities. And as you can imagine, some smaller centers don't have millions stashed away. Also, as Jen mentioned, that money is used to pay for emergencies like flooding or snow removal. On the notion that cities used revenue sharing to boost those reserves, well, Saskatoon City Councillor Darren Hill says that's not true and that the money has gone to pay for operations. As you heard from Bob Maloney, the Yorkton Mayor, these community leaders are not sure what next year holds.
A lot of uncertainty for a lot of people. Thanks, Adam.